Hey everyone, my name's Bree. I'm a registered nurse and STD prevention specialist. I get a lot of questions on how to protect yourself from the icky things floating in the sexual world. So I've decided to share some ways on how to protect the box. What's the box, you may ask? This is your box. Boys, you have one too. Here I'm going to show you some ways on how to tighten your security system. So before you start singing, my party is your party, baby, yeah. Welcome to another episode of Protect the Box. In this episode, I want to give you 5 things that I think every young lady should have at all times. And I've coined this the emergency box kit. So let's jump right into it. First, you want to start off by having a small pouch or a medium to small sized makeup bag that can fit inside of your purse or your briefcase or your book bag or whatever you may be carrying for the day. Now, this makeup bag or small pouch, whatever the case is, it could be around this size or so. It could actually be a bit smaller. I would say no larger than the standard size of an envelope in dimensions. If it's a pencil case, makeup bag, whatever it may be, just as long as it can fit inside of your purse or whatever you're carrying for the day and the dimensions are around the size of an envelope. The first thing that I think everyone should have in that emergency box kit is hand sanitizer. You never know when you may not have access to a water source or in between the day, whether it's at your office or at work or you're playing sports, you're exercising, you're out, regardless of what the situation is. You want to be able to have access to something that can clean your hands and kind of disinfect, get rid of all the bacteria or germs that you might have come in contact with throughout the day. There's a whole bunch of icky stuff everywhere. I'm not trying to make anybody OCD or anything, but you're shaking people's hands, you're hugging people, you're touching doorknobs, you're on the computer. It's just a lot of surfaces where you can pick up a lot of things and you want to be able to get your hands clean. The second thing that I think everyone should have at all times is a pack of tissue. You never know when tissue can come in handy. You may be on a road trip and you go to the gas station and there's no tissue. You might be in church, you're catching the spirit. Hallelujah. You just been so good to me. Thank you. Oh, shut up. You might just be out and you get a spill or something. You're a little clumsy. So whatever the case may be, tissue always comes in handy, and I think you should have it in your emergency box kit at all times. The third thing that I think you should have at all times is condoms. Yes, I said condoms. Now, wait for it. I know that young women may feel a bit skeptical about carrying condoms on them. It's mostly seen as something that is the responsibility of a man to have on them. They may not always have it on them. I think you should revamp your thought process on females carrying condoms. And I know there's a lot of negative connotation, whether it's in regards to the packaging of the condoms, you're just embarrassed to have them with you. You feel like it suggests that your sexual behavior is very promiscuous. Sometimes you just have to come to the reality. If your sexual behavior is such where you may have one-night stands or you're sexually active with someone you're not exclusive with, friends with benefits, whatever the case may be, look at it as if you are taking charge of your own health and you're protecting yourself and you're taking responsibility. The only reason why I would suggest that you do not have them is if you have never been sexually active at all, or you're on a celibate journey and you have been successful in this journey for a minimum of 2 years. Even then, in that scenario, I still think that you should carry condoms on you because you just never know what you may run into. If it's in regards to the packaging where you feel really embarrassed about having it on you, there's a lot of different companies that are switching up the packaging so that it looks, more personalized or has more of a feminine touch. One product that I really like the packaging for is by Lovability Inc. They have, it almost looks like a mint case, and it's very pretty packaging, and the condoms are inside stacked, and it's something that can fit discreetly in your kit along with the other items that I suggest. When this company asked men about their thoughts of women carrying condoms on them, a lot of the times their response was, it's a new time, it's a new day and age. I like when a woman is carrying condoms because it suggests that she is responsible for her health. She wants to protect herself as well as the other person. Once again, the only time I would not recommend, where I say just skip this part, is if you have never been sexually active. I will always promote abstinence or celibacy, anyone on a celibate journey, because that is the only sure way to prevent contracting sexually transmitted infections. For whatever religious purposes, or you're taking control back of your own life and you feel that's the journey you need to take, I will always promote that. The fourth thing that I think every young woman should have in their emergency box kit is a pad or a tampon. You never know when the Nile will come about. And by Nile, I mean the River Nile. You need to be prepared. Once again, if you're a bit skeptical about carrying that with you because of the packaging and you're not sure if things will drop out of your purse, you just never know what the situation may be. A lot of companies are making very pretty packaging for pads and tampons. A lot of the times you don't even know what it is. And again, it will be discreetly packed in your emergency box kit, which will be inside your purse or your book bag or whatever you're carrying for the day. The fifth thing that I think every young woman should have at all times is a $20 bill. The reason why I say $20 is because it's an amount of money that is large enough so that you can use it for whatever purposes you need, whether it be run out of gas, if you need to get out of a situation, you never know, you might be with one of these brothers out here on a date, they don't take care of the tab. $20 should suffice for your portion, unless you went out somewhere like Ruth's Chris or somewhere else real fancy, then that's a big problem. Possibly you need to catch a taxi. $20 is a good enough amount of money to have on you, yet it's not too high to where if you lose it, you would be too disappointed. I'm cheap, any amount of money. If I lose $1, I'm mad. You won't be too mad if you lose it. Well, I think you won't be too mad, but you get the point. So this concludes the components of the emergency box kit. Once again, these should all be placed into a pouch that can be placed discreetly within your purse or whatever you're using for the day. I love to get your feedback. Any other questions regarding your sexual health, I would love to respond in another video. Feel free to comment below, and of course, subscribe.